QC versus QA? How do you differentiate? Anyone? The whole class.
Quality control is like in the process.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Quality assurance is ensuring that you're meeting that process and the requirements of it. So not just that process, but also the customer requirements.
Anyone else like to comment before I start with my explanation?
I was thinking quality control maintains and monitors everything and everything throughout the process as it's happening, and
Okay.
quality assurance assures that the process in which quality control is being implemented is continually followed throughout.
That's the quality assurance.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Great. Great. Okay. So, anyone else like to give any other input before I start my explanation? And you are all right in bits and pieces. And as you know, I go with the pictorials because my thing is that picture speaks louder than words. So if there is a process, and you need to bear with me a little. If there is a process, the QC comes after the process. Okay. QC is after the process. And QA comes before the process. And what is the best? Yeah, this one. So this is my QA. Yeah. Okay, so what happened is that the initial work of the QA is to lay down the process and how will it all work. And based on the definition, how the process will work and how the QC will work, they will start executing, okay? And once they will work, they will have inputs and outputs. And of course, after checking, you're delivering it to the customer. But then the QA process will again come into play. And what will happen is that this feedback will be taken how the process is working and how the QC is working. And based on that monitoring and measurement of the parameters, this feedback will be utilized by QA, and then this will help in establishing, redefining the process so you may fine-tune your process, or you may fine-tune your QC to ensure less deviation in your outputs.
It's just a plan, do, check, act.
Yeah,
cycle.
exactly. Yeah, absolutely. So plan, do, check, and act is all embedded within this thing. And if you focus on the clauses, the 9.1.1 A, B, and C, they typically talk about the QC activities. and QA is the analysis of the data. So QC is where you are inspecting, arrival inspection, inline inspection, and it is not limited to QC activities, but monitoring and measurement is mostly done by the QC, which is the product standards. And when you do it, then you take that data back and then you reanalyze it and then you redefine it and you fine tune your process and QC so that you can fine tune the output of the process, which is the end output, and the customer will have less deviating products and you will have less deviation in the system and process.